Hi there, and welcome to a series of registration tutorial videos offered by SAPL. I'm Sarah, and the undergraduate program specialist at SAPL. Today, I'll go over some common registration terms used in your overall registration process. The registration terminology content will be split into 3 different videos. This is part 1 of the 3-part series, and will cover registration terms related to course components and course modalities. Sometimes, when you register for classes, there may be several components that make up one course. The lecture is usually the main instructional component of a course. This is where instructors will introduce and go in more detail about the various course topics. Labs are secondary instructional components of a course. This is where you usually apply what you've learned from the lectures. In SAPL, our studio courses are shown as labs when you register into them, and they are considered the main instructional component of the course. Tutorials are also secondary instructional components of a course. In tutorials, you'll usually be able to ask questions, discuss course and reading material, and receive additional support. Your courses are currently offered in several locations. In person, at a UCalgary campus, or virtually, and this delivery mode is noted as web-based. When you're registering, make sure you check the location of the courses to help with planning your schedule. Here's an example on how to check the location via course search. If you look under the location and room columns, you'll be able to see if it's on a U of C campus, and in this case, it's noted as the main U of C campus, and the associated room, or if it's a web-based course. You can also find the same information under the course details in Schedule Builder. Schedule Builder also has a mouse icon to show that the course is held in a virtual or online format. As you're planning your course and study schedule, it's also important to check when your classes are happening. If the course component is marked as synchronous, it means that the session is held at specific times, so you need to be prepared to engage in the course material during those scheduled times. If the course component is marked as asynchronous, it means that the session is not scheduled at a specific time. This means the session is more flexible and you can engage with the course material and at a time that's convenient for you. Remember to check in on your course outline and/or with the instructor in case there are certain deadlines associated with asynchronous components. Instructors might be expecting you to complete certain tasks by a given time. Not all web-based courses are asynchronous, and sometimes the same class may contain both synchronous and asynchronous components. The first example is a web-based Data 201 lecture that has a synchronous lecture as shown by the set days and times. The second class, not Data 201, has a synchronous lecture as shown by the specified dates and times, but it has an asynchronous lab, which is indicated by the TBA. Here on Schedule Builder, the top left-hand corner shows times for Data 201's lecture and lab components. On the right shows a time blocked off for each relevant synchronous component of this class. Now, on Schedule Builder again for a different class, the top left-hand corner shows only the lecture time because the lab is asynchronous. On the right shows no time blocked off for the asynchronous component of this class. Some courses may have a combination of modalities to accommodate the various types of instruction and student learning. Hybrid course components have both synchronous and asynchronous meetings. whereas blended course components include both in-person and online meetings. I recommend to best check your course outlines and with the instructor that you're clear on the timing and location of your courses, especially if they're hybrid or blended components. This first example is a section of a course outline that shows times and locations for the course. The second example is a section of the course outline that breaks down the date and location of the course. Here's another example pulled from another course outline. You can see here that the classes are in person, while the labs are asynchronous, web-based, and there are associated due dates of when the student needs to meet the deadline to submit their materials by. Finally, the course outline also indicates that the exams are synchronous, so the date and time matters. Make sure you schedule this in your calendar and show up at the right time to write your exams. And this ends part 1 of the video series. Make sure you check out part 2, which discusses registration terminology around registration actions.